Hey guys, I have a really quick little 5 to 10 minute stretch for those of you that have office jobs or if you live your life on Zoom meetings. This is a little stretch sequence that you can do. Doesn't take very long, about 10 stretches we're gonna get through that should leave you feeling like butter. Just stuff that kind of is the anti this posture. Because if you think about it, we spend most of our day here, right? We drive here, right? Obviously here, sometimes here with our phones. We're constantly leaning forward, so sometimes those muscles can feel a little stale or even tight and painful. These stretches are very body friendly, very easy. Any level can do them, and they're just meant to really loosen things up and kind of get the posture set back where it's supposed to be. So I'm starting off in the chair, and we'll stand a little bit after. But what I'd like for us to do is go ahead and get ourselves positioned in your chair at the front. So I'm actually going to the edge of my chair and really ground your feet so you can feel the feet plant into the ground. From there, take your hands to your hip bones and just rock from forward to back so you can feel you're rocking on and off of those two little bones that you sit on at the bottom of your pelvis. They're called sit bones. How appropriate is that? Right? Try to rock forward so you can really feel them plant into the chair. Then from here, you'll notice you're sitting up a little bit taller automatically without having to feel like you clench your way into it. Then from here, go into a couple of shoulder rolls, trying to liberate the neck, but mostly so you can feel the shoulder blades moving around on the rib cage, right? Sometimes the shoulders, they just get locked into position, and we have to remind them that they're floating. They're floating around and able to slide on the back of the rib cage. So start to feel that mobility, start to feel the pulling down. Now we got two options depending on what chair you're sitting on. Go ahead and, first option is right here. Just roll the shoulders all the way down and back and then feel them slide into your back pockets and think like your arms are super heavy, like you're holding onto big heavy grocery bags and they just pull away from the neck and the neck gets to float above it. That would be level one. If you want to go a little deeper and if you're not on a swivel chair, you can definitely do this. Go ahead and scoot over to one side of your chair and hang on to the opposite side. Then from here, keeping the chest nice and tall, shoulders rolled back, go and take your hand to the opposite side of the head, and I'm not gonna pull, I just wanna let it kind of lean. There's no active pulling on the neck. It really is just using the gravity of your arm to kind of guide the neck all the way to the side. And then from here to get the occipital area in the back, go ahead and lean the head just a little bit forward, and you'll feel it stretch all the way down the side of the neck. Give it about one breath, and then on the exhale of that second breath, go ahead and come up, lengthening to come up, and then we'll get the other side, okay? So if you're still sitting in the middle, if you're on a swivel chair, just continue to do those shoulder rolls, and then lean away. So I'm feeling like my shoulder's getting pulled down, and then the head can come and be a part of that stretch. Again, pretty much all of these stretches are about 1 to 2 breaths in length. And then from here, go and let that go. The head floats back up, and then we're gonna go into our edge of our seat again. Now from here, roll the shoulders back and down like we did before, and then bring it palms up. So my elbows are right by my sides, palms are up, thumbs are out. Then from here, I wanna rotate out. Now here's where you get to experiment and see how your body naturally does this. There's a right way and a wrong way. If you feel this right here in the back of your shoulder, that's your rotator cuff. You want to avoid that, right? Yes, it is a part of it, but we don't want to dominate in there. Those are small muscles that'll end your day, right? You don't want to piss them off. Actually, can you go back to the shoulder blades and feel like the shoulder blades are sliding in and out? Can you feel the squeeze right in the middle of your back? So you're squeezing in and out, in and out. So the shoulder blades take it to external rotation. Then from here, keep the shoulders where they are, chest where it is, and then just go into a snow angel. Up and down, finding a breath to synchronize with it, and I'm really trying to pull my palms back as much as possible. And I'd like for you to find one area that you feel like, wow, that's really a tight area for me. For some people, it's gonna be here. Some people, it'll be up here, especially if you're tight in your lats. Find that place, hold it there, try to pull the hands back, wherever that is. It's here for me, it might be here for you. And just pull back and open, give yourself a nice deep breath to the center of the chest. And then exhale, go and let it go. All right, moving into the mid-back. Bring your hands forward. Rotate the thumbs down so my palms are out. These are my thumbs. Then from here, crisscross the arms over, one over the other, and interlace your fingers. So you're here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch my knuckles forward as far as I can as I pull my ribs back. So I'm feeling an abdominal contraction, like somebody's pulling my body back as I'm trying to punch forward. Dropping the head between your arms, And give yourself a nice deep breath. Imagine that the back of your rib cage is like a balloon. You want to inhale and inflate that balloon. Feel the stretch in your ribs. And then exhale. Keep track of which hand is on top, because we're going to switch. Go ahead and take the thumbs all the way back. Open chest. Inhale and then exhale. Switch the arms. Thumbs down, palms together. Opposite arm in front. And we'll go for that same lean back, punch forward. And then the real stretch comes when you inhale. You inhale and you feel the ribs open like a balloon. Breathing through the back it's a very, very therapeutic thing, but it's hard to do sometimes, but it takes practice. Breathing through your back. One more time, and then let it go. I'm gonna move back for this next one. We're gonna get into the hips. About 3 more stretches, real simple. So I'm still at the edge of my seat. I'm still up on my sits bones. Shoulders are still gonna be down in my back pockets. Take your right leg out to the side, and I'm kind of leaning forward a little bit. Take your right hand to your thigh for support, and we're just gonna lean over to the side and see how far you can get. Now, remember the balloon that I was talking about in the back of the rib cage? Try and imagine the balloon is here. Now it's the side of the rib cage. Can you just breathe through one lung? Inhale this through this lung and feel the ribs kind of open up. And then exhale, reach longer to come back up. We want to lengthen to come back to center and then go to the other side. Left leg out, left hand to thigh, reach over to the side, and try to breathe just through this lung, which is physically impossible, but try anyways. You get the idea. And inhale, and then exhale, lengthen to come back up. From here, come up to a standing position. 3 more stretches. This one is going to be your IT band stretch. Well, it's not really an IT band stretch, but it feels like it. Standing to the side of your chair, I'm actually going to turn it this way. Take the leg that is furthest from your chair, your outside leg, cross it over, drive both heels into the floor, squeeze your butt so your lower back is nice and long, and then side lean, and I'm pulling my hip out to the side just a little bit so I can feel the stretch, not just through my arm, not just through my side, but also in my low back and possibly even in my hip as well. Still trying to keep this foot, the crossed foot, pushing into the ground for length. One inhale, and guess what? Again, lengthen to come back up. Swing it around to the other side. And go ahead and start over on the other side. So the outside leg crosses over. Drive the heels into the ground. Squeeze your butt for a long lower spine. Reach up, and then the hip sinks in just like an inch or 2 as I reach over the top. Breathing nice and heavy, nice and deep. And then the best part, getting out of the position, we reach up to come out. We don't just slam back into our center, okay? The next stretch is gonna be a flat back. This one, I'm gonna go pretty deep. It doesn't matter how low you go for this one. It's a hamstring, hip, and low back and chest opener all in one. It's awesome. It's a flat back hinge. So the hands are gonna go to your seat back. I'm gonna step the feet back just a little bit, and then I'm gonna try and hinge by taking my sits bones, remember those? We're gonna try and tilt them up. So I'm going flat through the low back, and I'm dropping the chest, kind of like how we do in a child's pose, for those of you that take yoga. The chest is gonna wanna drop, right, through the arms. Now, if you don't have a lot of flexibility in your hamstrings, nobody's judging, it's totally fine. You can still do it from here, but try and bring the chest up, and I'm still trying to pull this back. So I'm almost feeling like I'm arching my back, but I'm not. And we just feel a little bit of a stretch through the hamstrings, a little bit of a stretch through the chest. One inhale, and then exhale, push into the seat to come back up. We're gonna do that again with a twist, literally. Go ahead and take it back into the same position. We're just gonna pop one knee and sit into one hip. So come back to the same place. Find that chest drop stretch. And what I want you to do is I want you to bend your right knee and sit into your left hip very gently. So you should feel a stretch all the way through this side hip a little bit. To make it even better, if your right knee is popped, take your right hand and grab your thigh on the left side. And I'm gonna pull my chest, I'm gonna try and twist and show my heart to the side. So the chest is coming through. So now you're feeling a twist through the back, the torso, and the hip. And you can hold it here for 1 or 2 breaths. And then from here, rebuild it. Hand goes back to the seat, straighten the legs, and then drop the chest before we go to the other side. Other side. Left knee is now gonna pop. I'm gonna feel the stretch in my right hip. My left hand is going to reach through under and grab my thigh on my right side. And then from there, we're just trying to show off the collarbones underneath your armpit. Give yourself a breath or two. One more inhale as you exhale. Come out of the twist, straighten both knees as much as you can, and then build it all the way back up. So after doing those stretches, if you make that a routine for yourself, you should feel like butter. If you ever feel constricted in a seated position, or if you just generally want to do some really good morning stretches to get you on your day, memorize this stretch sequence. It's an awesome one. It should feel pretty good. All right, thanks. Take care.